Hi, good morning everyone. Let's get started with the next topic for this training session, which is on user creation and maintenance. So in this training session, we'll be seeing how do we create users in an SAP systems, which are the T code which is used for managing and maintaining a user master record, and while creating a users, which are the fields which is required for creating a user. So basically in this particular session we have gone to SU01, that is the transaction code. Let's try to create a user. Okay, we are creating a test user. Just click on this create button, the first button which is for create, second is for change, then display, then add, delete, then copy, lock, unlock, and change password. Okay, now the first thing that we are going to do is use the first button, which is for creating a user. Okay, while creating a user, you can see there are different fields, which is address, logon data, and there are other fields. So let's see in this particular first tab where you have the last name, which is mandatory. Okay, so this is the only mandatory field in this particular tab, but there are other fields which is required, which can be used as well. Say for example, you have person information, work center information, and other details. So let's go to the logon data tab where you have the information about the user type. You can see different user types: dialog, system, communication data, reference. Okay, so in this particular case, let's select dialog user, and then there is a field for new password. So let's enter the new password for this user. So this is basically an initial password. Okay, so basically we enter this particular field. Okay, now below that we have the field for user group creation. We can create a user group, or we can basically, here in this case, we can select a user group, and that user group will be assigned to this user. Okay, now these are the only two mandatory groups. So first thing is the last name, second thing is the password. These are the only two mandatory fields. Now let's enter the next fields. So we are entering the user group. Okay, just click on this drop down box, and this drop down box shows the different user groups which are available. So let's select one of the user group. Basically user groups are used for grouping the users by department, by location code, by the privileges. So we can select different user types. Then you have the validity period, that is from a particular date to a particular date. Then you have the accounting and the cost center information. Say for example, if you are doing a billing based on the user's location or cost center, you can populate this particular field. Okay, so this is about the logon data field. So logon data, we have seen information. Now let's get into the next field, which is SNC. SNC is basically used for encrypting the communication. Then we have the default field. In the default field, you can see different things like start menu. Okay, you can select any of the things that you want to be populated upfront in the start menu. Then you have the next thing is the logon language, that is which language should be presented to the user when he logs in. You can see different language codes are there. Okay, then the next thing is about the decimal notation, that is number format. Okay, after that is the date format, time format. Then below that is the output device, that is for printing. How do you want the printing to be done? After that it is about the personal time zone information. You can define the time zone. Okay, then the next is the test status, that is the testing, that is about using cat. Okay, now let's get into the next tab, which is parameters. You can define different parameters. So here you can see there are different parameters which are available. We can select some of the parameters, and basically these parameters are for populating or pre-assigning few things. Okay, so that is about the parameters field. The next thing that you are seeing is the roles. Okay, here you can see the different roles which can be assigned. Okay, and if you just click on this, there is a drop down list box. Next tab is about the profiles. Here you can assign the different profiles to the user. These profiles basically, here you can see the key profiles, that is SAP_all and SAP_new. These are basically the two key profiles that I wanted to show you guys, that these profiles contain the master information, that is, these are kind of super profiles, super authorizations. Okay, the next is about the user group. We just saw in the first tab which you can select a user group from there, or you can come here and assign a user group. Say for example, you have support group, system group, monitoring group. Like that you can group your authorization and can assign the user groups accordingly. Then you have the personalization group. You can define or create different personalizations over here. And last is about the license data, that is the contractual user type ID. You can assign it here. Okay, so basically we have seen information about the different records which is available. Okay, then the next field is, you can see this tab which is for copying a user, that is copy user. You can see from and to, that is from an existing user to a new user, and just select on the last tab which is the copy user. Okay, you can select whatever field you want to copy from this, so it's a checkbox. Now here you can just save this, assign the password and save it. Okay, so the password is the only mandatory field which is required in this particular case. That is, you are copying a user and assigning a new password for this copied user. Next is about the lock unlock. Here you can check the status and do a lock or unlock. Okay, you can see the first is, this is unlock tab, and this one is lock tab. Okay, so that is about the different fields. And say if I just click lock, it will lock, click it again, it will unlock. Now this is the last tab, is the change password. You can change your password from here. Okay, you can enter your password from here. Okay, so that is about changing and modifying the user password. Okay, so that's all actually I wanted to cover in this particular training session. Thank you for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.